Hey Chris, welcome to the 2019 OEC golf event. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing. We'll let that play on through, put you back in your dress position, and we'll take a look at a few things for you. So while we got you back here in your setup, first of all, take a look at your posture. Your spine's nice and straight and on a tilt. Legs come down into a nicely unlocked position. Your arms do hang a little bit tightly into you with your biceps sort of running along your rib cage, and then your forearms work out, and then the club works out to the ball. So ideally, if we could get your arms to hang down just a little bit more out in front of you and let the club work out to the ball, that would be ideal. But nonetheless, setup looks pretty strong there. Next thing we want to observe from this vantage point has to do with your alignment. We can see your feet set up just a little bit out to the right here if we carry that out to the fairway. Theoretically, your club face is supposed to run parallel to your feet. Parallel lines on camera would have an appearance of converging, and with that scenario, we can see that we're sort of set up just inside the tree line out to the right here, to the right of the fairway. Okay, let's go ahead and do a little split screen comparison between you and Jordan Spieth. We've got some color-coded lines on the screen here, just to use as a visual reference as it pertains to swing plane. We can see as Jordan initiates his takeaway, creates good strong shoulder rotation, drawing the arms and hands back as well as the golf club. And we see the club coming back on the red line, so the club's coming back on a perfect swing plane. Through this stage of the golf swing, we're going to start to establish some good wrist hinge into play, where we're transitioning the club head from below to above the hands, and then we're going to work the club from red up to yellow or blue. And when we finally set the club at the top of the backswing, the left arm and the club are going to be situated on the yellow line or the blue line, or somewhere within that blue-yellow V zone. In Jordan's case, he sets the left arm and the club on the blue line, so he just sets himself in a little bit of a steep position. But anything, again, within that blue-yellow V zone is fine. Anything down on yellow would be slightly more shallow. If we go ahead and take a look at your golf swing on the right side of the screen, you draw your hands back, shoulders are rotating. We can see that the golf club sneaks a little bit underneath and inside of the swing plane. I want to start to see some wrist hinge here occur shortly, so the club recovers, which it does. And then as we work that club to the top here, we can see that you turn your shoulders quite well. You maintain good triangular formation in your arms relative to the core. The club's in good position relative to your arms as well. Stable right side. One of the things that I want to point out, though, is it appears that you sort of you end up sitting a bit and pulling up your spine as you're creating this rotation. So we can see that your spine right about now at the top of your swing is at 74 degrees, but I think it was on more of an angle when you started, and we can clearly see that it was. So your spinal position started at about 55. So what you want to do is you want to rotate and maintain that axis. You don't want to rotate and then have yourself pull up with your spine and get yourself into that position. From here, if we go ahead and take a look at the transition back into the ball, simply want to move our weight from our right foot to our left foot, fire the knees and the hips to the target, unwind the core, and fire the hands. And in doing so, we want to bring the golf club from blue down to yellow, and then ultimately back down onto red, which is where the club originated. And that's exactly what we can see here with Jordan Spieth. The golf club has returned back to being on plane. The other thing we want to look at here is the relationship between the lead forearm and the golf club. We refer to this as the backwards check mark. Simply means the club head right now is remaining above and behind his hands, coming into the hitting zone, and therefore we're going to be able to create a lot of power in our golf swing. Aside from the fact that he's going to be able to hit the ball straight, due to the fact that the club has returned back to plane. With your transition back into the ball, you have an over-the-top move. Your hands come over the top, down yellow, out towards blue. Now you're fighting to keep the club head behind you, but you're just not going to win the battle with that over-the-top move. So what we can see here is that your golf club is in this location. It has not returned back to plane, and it will continue to approach the golf ball from too far over the top and therefore too steep. And that's going to influence the path whereby the club is going to be attacking the ball from what's known as outside to inside. Again, Jordan's club is returned back to plane quite early, and then that club tracks in the golf ball directly from the red line So therefore, he's going to be able to hit the ball straight in accordance to his alignment, assuming that the club face squares up via having a good grip. So 3 things we need in order to be consistent and hit a ball straight are: we have to aim well, feet have to run parallel to our target line, club has to return to plane, and we have to square the face up via having a good grip. We can see with you, again, you're aiming out to the right, and here's your compensation. You're coming over the top, and you're trying to pull the ball back to the left. At that point in time, it's going to require you to compensate with the club face, hopefully leaving it somewhat open and being able to sort of hit sort of a little bit of a pull fade here. At this point in time, we can take a look at the path of the golf club. We can see with Jordan, his club is slightly inside the ball. It expands out to make contact, moves through in a nice natural subtle arc. Your club head is attacking the ball from the outside, dropping down and across to make contact. So very simply put, if we square the club face up to that path, then we will be able to obviously pull the ball back in that direction. And again, that is the center of the fairway. So like I said, that is your compensation. Issues arise when you over-release the club. Not only will you pull it down red, but then the ball's going to get out there and it's going to draw or hook on you and you're going to lose it left. If you under-release the club, you'll still probably pull it, but then the ball's going to have some left to right movement and it's going to slice. But if you time it properly, very likely what will happen is you'll just hit this sort of subtle pull fade or subtle pull draw, or even possibly a pull straight shot, and that's what you're hoping for. As you carry yourself through to your finish, you've got good footwork moving through the finish. You do fall back on your right side a little. Try and fine-tune that up where, through impact, we're off our right heel, and then watch the continued activity. We get up off the right heel onto the toe. We can count all the spikes in the shoe, and the weight finishes on the left side. So you just want to learn to create that footwork so you get up on the toe of your right foot and you finish with all your weight on your left side when you're done. Okay? Overall, you got some good athletic qualities with respect to your golf swing. Your hands work really well. You bring them back and you fire them through. Great. You've got good coil. You coil back, uncoil through. You got pretty decent footwork until the very end there, so that allows you to carry yourself at least through to a finish. But again, if we want to be consistent, we have to improve your alignment and your downswing plane. Again, we're aiming out to the right, and then we've got an over-the-top move where we're trying to pull the ball back to the left, and at that point in time, whatever the club face does will dictate where the ball goes. Over-release it, it's going left. Under-release it, it's going right. And if we time it okay, it will find the intended target in some way, shape, or form. Okay? Anyways, if at any point in time you want to work on any of these aspects, I'm over at Glen Abbey in Oakville. Be happy to structure a program for you. Also, if you're involved with any golf tournaments and you're looking for a unique gift to provide to your guests, certainly feel free to reach out and we can discuss my swing analysis services. Anyways, hope you had a great day. Hope you've had a great summer, and hope you get some more opportunity through this fall here to play some more golf.